Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. And across the interwebs, from me is my good buddy Tad. How's it going, Tad?
It's
How's it
going good.
going? How's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
So, how are you?
I am,
How was your holiday?
well, I've been good running
You're back
around.
at school, aren't you?
Yeah, went back Thursday.
Poor bastard.
I know. Yeah, well, actually, I went back Wednesday because I neglected to do
I
any
know.
any
You
pre-
skipped out on Pornsack and Jesse.
I had it planned with other people that I would meet them at school, and we were going to get a whole bunch of lesson planning stuff done. It was going to be like a group thing, and then I
You could have
completely forgot about the.
ducked out and done the podcast from school while you were there.
I know. It,
Hey guys, I'll be back in an hour. I got to go talk to some people who are cooler than you.
no, that's true, but no, the whole break I neglected doing any planning. You know what I mean? So like I
Right.
felt like anyway.
Oh yeah,
But you go back Monday, huh?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. And reasons I enjoy being paraprofessional. I don't actually have to do any planning over
Yeah.
break.
Yeah. I think I would enjoy that a
That's
lot more.
that's somebody else's job.
I know. The pre-planning I'm so bad at. That's the aspect of the job that I'm the worst at. And so I procrastinate.
I don't have to pre-plan. I don't have to do paperwork.
Nope. You don't have to do grades.
Nope. I don't do IPs.
Nope. IEP meetings. I have IEP meetings weekly,
I just get to be the wise, curly-haired, curly-haired, four-eyed man.
Four-eyed man. Yeah. Is that how they know you?
Curly gray-haired man.
Curly gray haired.
Sometimes curly gray-haired
That's funny.
four-eyed man.
That's funny.
When I'm lucky, the wise, curly gray-haired man.
The wise. That's funny. Oh,
These are the names I've been given.
you've been given.
I think, yeah, this is what I've been given by people who thought, essentially decided that Mr. E was too hard to remember. So I'm the curly gray-haired man.
No, for my students, a lot of the time Johnson is too much, so it's Mr. J. Sometimes, most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
So
I already had it as Mr. E rather than Eggleston.
yeah, you already had it
But
shortened, but
yeah.
okay. All right. So what's going on?
I'll
in
take
news?
it.
Yeah.
I'll take it, particularly when they add the Y's. That's nice. So what's going on in news? Well,
Yeah.
every year,
Yep.
Heidi McDonald and the staff at the Beat pick out a comics industry person of the year. This year, it goes to one of my a creator that I like a lot. Who I met out at CXC and need to reach out to all the more now.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to reach out to her because of what she got named um, Industry Person of the Year for, which is the Cartoonist Cooperative, and it's Sloan Leong, um, cartoonist behind Prism Stalker and Map of the Sun. Uh, started co-founded the Cartoonist Cooperative, which is a member-driven organization working to improve and protect the labor rights of comic industry workers worldwide.
Cool.
So they're fighting for a fairer, more sustainable industry for comics workers everywhere.
Awesome. Yeah. Good. Congratulations
Their
to her.
website is cartoonist.coop. It's got some cool things.
Nice.
Uh, Articles, comics. Ooh, they have a newsletter that I'm not signed up for. Gotta go fix it. I sign up for newsletters.
Yeah, my inbox would be so full if I signed up for all those. I sign up for some.
My inbox is so full, and I don't actually care.
Yeah, you just let it go.
I read a lot of them.
Do you?
Yeah.
I got to go through
I
it.
found that it's one of my favorite ways to keep up on news
Stay in the
both
know.
in the industry and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of digested, but generally includes links and whatnot if you want more information on this, that, or the other thing. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Cool.
So check out cartoonist.coop, and Sloan Leong is the Comics Industry Person of the Year from the Beat.
Great. I hope we get a
Well
chance to talk to her
deserved.
about it.
Yeah, no, I got to reach out. I think I've got contact information somewhere. We had a very nice conversation at CXC.
Sweet.
So, um, another, not even certain that Gail Simone isn't a previous winner of the award. If she's not, I'm certain she's been considered from time to time.
Uh-huh.
Gail Simone, one of the great comics writers, but also one of the great both pioneers and champions of women in comics,
Mm-hmm.
will be working with David Marquez, picking up a post-Krakoa X-Men, apparently initially centered around Jubilee,
That's awesome.
and starting on Free Comic Book Day.
Yep. I'm glad you brought this up.
That might actually get me reading X-Men.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now that the Krakoan era is come to an end, and they said that, when Hickman rolled this out, they said it would be a 5-year thing, and 2024 marks 5 years since they rebooted everything, and it's lived up to that. And it's time for something new, and I think Gail Simone's going to do an awesome job, and David Marquez as well. Can't wait to see what that's going to be. We're already in what's called the fall
and
of
I can
X
also
right now.
now say that if you sign up for the Comics Cooperative newsletter,
Uh-huh.
that they will pretty quickly send you an email that includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 comics to read. Meeting Comics #1 from Andrew Neal, A Day in the Dark City from Pa Louis, The Last Scarecrow by Aaron Losty, When You Come Crawling by Sloan Leong, Outside My Window by Julio Sacimento, Gutsy by Claire Napier, and Conspiracy Horse by Benny M.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
hey.
So, okay, I'll sign up for that newsletter. Let me get free stuff with it.
I mean, if you wanted to be horrible, you could sign up, get the free stuff, and then go away.
Yeah, and then unsubscribe. Don't want that.
Right. But
what I need to do is get rid of all the subscription emails that I absolutely don't need anymore or never wanted, or what, you know what I mean? Clean it up so that I can allow more stuff in that I would like to read. So it just doesn't get lost. Because email to me is the worst form of communication for me, because I lose emails, I've noticed.
I've gotten better at marking stuff that I care about.
Uh-huh.
Going through from time to time and cleaning out and deleting stuff that I don't. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to do that.
And Google Mail has a search engine.
True. Yep.
So if I remember something, I don't even have to remember the email address, or, if I can remember a couple of words, I can narrow down
Mm-hmm.
the list of things that I need to look through.
Yep. Cool.
Which is why I don't delete school email at all. I just search for it.
No, when I
don't assume that there's anything I won't need later.
Exactly. My school email is so full.
I'm not paying for the storage, so I don't delete anything.
Yeah.
So, final piece of news. As we record this right now, it is 3 years and roughly 4 hours since the insurrectionists, I'm going to say that firmly, insurrection. It's the definition of an insurrection when you break into the seat of government and try to do harm to people who are doing their jobs.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. If you want to argue with me about that, come at me.
Exactly. I feel the exact same way.
For that matter, one of the things that really frustrates me the most is listen to Republicans on January 6th, 2021.
Okay.
Listen to Republicans on January 7th, 2021. They all called it what it was for that first few days.
Yep.
It took a couple of days for them to get the memo. Oh,
we don't want that.
We're not actually going to get rid of that moron.
Yeah.
And if we're not getting rid of that moron, we have to treat his faithful like they're not traitors.
Uh-huh.
And I know that, anybody who falls in that camp, use me as a traitor. And I'm going to sit here and say to you, if your America is that exclusive Yeah, I'm absolutely a traitor to that America, but go read the fucking Constitution.
Yeah.
Constitution's on my side.
Do you think in the end, when all the dust settles, that Trump will be on the ballot or not?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, really, it comes down to because I don't believe. I mean, just like Bush v. Gore was an absolute political call and
Yep.
arguably the wrong one. Actually, really, arguably the wrong one.
Oh, yeah.
Gore had the votes in Florida if they'd counted them all,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't going to take that much longer to count.
But you know what he didn't do, even though that was an
And
absolute.
3 of the people who won that case are now on the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
John Roberts, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett were all part of the team, Bush's legal team, in Florida in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump's lawyers are already talking like mob bosses, already reminding. I mean, frankly, if they're smart, if they give a damn about legitimacy, the 3 justices that he appointed are going to say, based merely on the comments of his lawyers, there is no way we can have an appearance of impartiality. We have to recuse.
Yeah.
And then it's a 3-2 vote. And then his lawyers actually have to convince at least one Democrat that the Constitution doesn't forbid him from running. I mean, the thing is, at no point have they even tried to make the argument that he didn't foment insurrection, that he didn't give aid and comfort to insurrectionists. They haven't even tried to make that argument in court.
No.
They've tried to argue that somehow the writers of the Constitution,
Yep.
when they wrote the 14th Amendment, meant it only to apply to offices other than the presidency.
Yeah.
A Confederate can become the president, but he can't become a senator.
Correct.
Or the Secretary of Education.
Correct. That's what they're saying. Yes, that's not correct. That is not correct in the way. That's not how
that
it was
doesn't
written,
really make sense in
right.
any way, shape, or form. And that and his whole he's actually arguing, and they've agreed to hear. And oh my God, if they don't, they are putting Democrats in such a tough position in general, in so many ways. If they actually rule that Trump had the presidential immunity that he says he had, that means Biden has it too.
Yeah. Exactly.
That means Biden could order the Secret Service to execute him, and it wouldn't be illegal.
Exactly. I think the president probably has the power to have the Secret Service execute somebody and get away with it.
I mean, they might.
Yeah.
Assuming they could keep it quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
But if the Supreme Court rules that the Trump cases can't go forward because everything he did while he was president
exactly. Yep.
is covered by presidential immunity, and the only recourse is impeachment and conviction in the Senate, and only if he's convicted in the Senate, because that's their argument here. Their argument is if you're convicted in the Senate, then it can go to that doesn't mean that you can't have, but it doesn't say that if you're not convicted in the Senate, you could still face criminal charges. So essentially their argument is if you don't convict in the Senate, that means there cannot be criminal charges later.
Because he wasn't. Yeah, I get the argument.
Again,
they're not correct, but I get the argument.
True,
right?
There are just so many things that Republicans or Democrats are expected to be adults, where we have no expectations of Republicans.
Right. Exactly.
Republicans don't get pushback when they hold the entire economy hostage for dumb shit stuff. But, everybody under the sun, even on the left, is talking about, well, we can't have the economy crash, so maybe we should bargain on abortion.
Right. But that never happens the other way.
Right. No, on the other side, it's just the assumption that they can't do it and that therefore it's okay and we shouldn't even expect it. There's this assumption that the adults in the room are supposed to be the Democrats.
Correct.
So if this passes, it would, here's the thing. If this passes, or not passes, if the Supreme Court finds Trump immune,
correct,
Biden could decide to do a coup the exact way that Trump decided to do a coup, only less violently. He could just say, hey, we're not counting votes from these states.
Exactly.
Unless you could get 16 Democrats to convict him, there'd be nothing you could do because of the precedent that they set for their own president. Now, unfortunately, I think you probably could get 16 Democrats to convict him.
I think so. I was just going to say, I'm like, that's not that hard. Biden's not that popular.
But, well, no, he's pretty popular among senators.
Yeah.
But it's the utter double standard here. They're counting on the idea that, hey, we managed to give Trump his get out of jail free card, and now all Republicans have that get out of jail free card, and theoretically Democrats have the get out of jail free card, but they'll never actually
use it. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
And I can't believe that you can make that argument with a straight face and not realize that you're saying that Democrats are better human beings than you are.
They are.
I'm not comfortable saying they are, but that is what that argument implies.
Yeah, you're right. That's what that argument is saying.
That's what that argument is saying.
Right.
The argument, we're not worried about what Democrats will do with this power because we trust them not to use it. So yeah, we're bad. 3 years after the insurrection of January 6th, and our disgraced, twice impeached, 91 times indicted former president, who's the front runner somehow for his party's candidacy in 2024, is trying to get the Supreme Court to say that presidents are immune from all prosecution and that the 14th Amendment doesn't apply to presidents.
Like you said, if they want to set a precedent with this, it's going to open a whole can
now
of
we get, the Supreme Court, despite being ridiculously and obviously partisan, has been desperately shouting and claiming and occasionally giving us the minor win here or there in overly blatant attempts to overthrow the Constitution on various things for a while. They cannot rule for Trump in these cases and maintain that facade. I don't know what happens if they rule for Trump in these cases. Unfortunately, I don't know what happens if they don't.
I know, exactly.
What will happen if his only option is armed insurrection? Do we trust him not to try it?
Absolutely not. You don't trust Trump.
Do we trust his supporters not to go along with it?
No.
I mostly trust the U.S. military doesn't have enough of his supporters and he'd be put down pretty damn fast, but we'd still have open conflict on American soil.
Yeah.
And whatever legitimacy we had left in the world would be gone. It would be like the biggest self goal in history.
Right.
So anyway, let's talk about some new comic series coming out. That's way more fun.
New series, new to order for January 18. Batman Dark Age #1 from Mark Russell and Mike Allred. I really like this one. I'm excited for this one.
I love their Superman Space Age. So
yep.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. Black Widow and Hawkeye from Stephanie Phillips and Paolo Villanelli.
Love Stephanie Phillips.
Blood Brothers Mother, number 1, Brian Azzarello and Eduardo
We'll talk
Riso.
more about that in a second.
Yep. Oh, sorry about that. Walked all over that one. Deathstalker, number 1, Tim Seeley and Steven Kostansky, Slash and Nathan Gooden. Yeah.
Yes, that Slash.
Yes, that Slash. Feral, number 1, from Tony Fleeks and Tricia Forstner. This, I keep wanting to say this is in the same universe, but I don't think it is.
I don't know. It might be.
Yeah.
It's just not the same characters.
Correct.
Same style.
Yep. Little Black Book, number 1, Jeff McComsey and Felipe Cunha. We haven't talked about this one yet.
I haven't talked about it yet. We'll get to it.
Yep. Man's Best, number 1, Pornsack Pichot and Jesse Lonergan. Pichot. Okay. I am terrible with pronunciation.
We've talked to him. He's pronounced it for us.
I know.
Pornsack Pichot.
Pichot.
Just like it's spelled.
Yeah. How's that spelled, sir? Just like it sounds. Napalm Lullaby, number 1, Rick Remender, Bengal from Image Comics. Let's see here. Night People, number 1, Barry Gifford, Chris Condon, Brian Level, out on Oni Press.
Anybody who's a patron of the Condon Phillips Patreon, Chris wrote a nice write-up of behind the scenes stuff.
Nice.
How this came together. It was pretty cool this week.
That's awesome. Torpedo, 1972, from Enrique Sanchez Abuli and Eduardo Riso. Man, we got Eduardo twice. Out on a Blaze. One of my favorites, Usagi Yojimbo from The Crow, number 1, Stan Sakai, Dark Horse. And Wrong Earth, Dead Ringers, number 1, Tom Payer, Jamal Ingle, out on Ahoy.
All right. We're going to talk about our distillery books this week.
Yeah.
Starting with The Blood Brothers Mother from Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Riso. Legendary creative team behind the seminal crime series 100 Bullets in the old American West. 3 children set off across the wild Texas frontier to rescue their mother, kidnapped by ruthless outlaws who gunned down their preacher father. Throughout their journey, they'll face the harsh elements of an unforgiving landscape, deadly animals, hungry for blood, merciless bounty hunters, and so much more, all in a relentless quest to rescue their family. Along the way, they'll learn the terrible cost of revenge. And not just in lives, but in how it stains a soul. While revenge may be satisfying in the moment, it leaves a yearning behind that lasts a lifetime. And once you taste it, nothing else is ever so sweet. In the tradition of the Searchers, the outlaw Josie Wales, and Blood Meridian comes the brutal new Western from Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Riso.
That sounds really cool. It's kind of hard to pronounce. It kind of like the Blood Brothers Mother.
Blood Brothers Mother.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then also from Distillery, from James Tynion and Christian Ward, Spectrograph. Next horror classic, ghost story steeped in the decay of a century of capitalism. For years, the mansion has sat strangely nestled into the coastline just a short drive north of Los Angeles. Rumors have haunted the place for years. Its owner, a titan of American industry with a strange fascination in the occult and the paranormal. For decades, the richest men and women in the country have whispered to each other, trying to understand what he was building alone in that mansion for all those years. And now finally, with his death and his estate finally open for sale, they are eager to find out for themselves.
That's awesome. I can't wait to read that.
Haunting cerebral horror novel that peels back the layers of America's opulent wealth and uncovers the rot underneath. Be careful. Once you enter, you may never leave.
Sweet.
And then the final offering from Distillery in this catalog is White Boat from Scott Snyder and Francesco Francavilla, the acclaimed team behind Detective Comics and Night of the Ghoul. Comes a modern horror classic. White boats are the mega yachts that the super rich use to traverse the globe, floating islands where your every desire can be fulfilled. And getting invited on board, one should be a dream come true. That is, until the crew traps and transports you to a remote island where secret cults have existed for millennia, working on something called the Human Project. Does the white boat ship you to paradise or sink you into hell on earth? So
Sweet. That sounds really good too. All of these series are going to be series that we're definitely going to pick up. I am when they come out. You know, I'm a number one fiend.
I have just told my guy all things distillery,
Mm-hmm.
and I've noticed that when they do their drops, at least so far, day one of their digital drops are $1 a piece.
Really?
So just make certain you're on their email list, and as soon as you get the email, boom.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds wow. And it's only for the first day?
Only for the first day.
Okay.
And then they go up to whatever the cover price is.
All right. So I got to get on that.
And I don't know if that'll continue or if that's like a first issue thing, but
Yeah.
I'll definitely be doing it anytime it's $1, and we'll see what I do after that.
Yeah. Sweet. So for collections and graphic novels coming out, we got Catfight from Andrew Wheeler and Ilias. And how do you pronounce his last name? Curiosities from IDW. Degas and Cassette from Salva Rubio. I'm really looking forward to that.
EFA, MBM.
From being an art guy, I'm really looking forward to this. Dusk from Alex Segura and Elizabeth Little and David Hahn out on Scout. Light It, Shoot It, Graham Chaffee and Fantagraphics. Light It, Shoot It. I haven't heard of this one. I mean, we did talk about it, but
we'll get to it.
Don't know too much about it yet.
We'll talk more about it soon.
Yeah. And, of course, one of my favorites from James Tynion. This is The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos, Volume 1.
Are you up to date on this?
Yeah.
The new issue was this week. It was really good.
I haven't read it yet, but I do have it. Because, yes, I have been up to date on it. Tate Brownbell and Isaac Goodhart from Dark Horse. Project Cryptid, Volume 1. Various
from a cast
creators.
Of thousands.
Yeah, there's a lot. Replay, Memoir of an Uprooted Family from Jordan Mechner.
At First Second.
At First Second? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Star Trek, Day of Blood, hardcover, Christopher Cantwell, Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing, Ramon Rosanas, and Angel Unzueta.
One of the best crossover events I have ever read in any set of comics.
Mm-hmm.
I loved this. And the hardcover comes out just for my birthday. Just in time for my birthday. Just tossing that out there if anybody's listening. Chris.
Here, Tad. Here's a hot off the press copy for you.
Actually, I should text him and say, getting the signed copy. Hint, hint.
Of
nod,
Star
nod.
Trek hardcover, if you don't mind. Suffrage Song, Caitlin Cass from Fantagraphics.
Well, I also talked to him about having as many people involved, including Heather Antos and Ryan North, who did the one shot that went along with it and whatnot, as many of the people who were involved in it together on the podcast, and he hasn't managed to arrange that yet because fatherhood and writing duties. I mean, like life.
Yeah,
he has a life.
We
don't know anything about that. Actually, you know a lot about that. It's me that doesn't know anything about that.
Our lives are so different. I was thinking about this because I've done so much reading this week, getting ready for our lists that we're doing. And right. I'm just like, I bet Tad has all his reading done as I was thinking this, but.
Yeah, I actually made the decision. Like last year, I did a lot of binge reading at the end just to make certain that I didn't overlook a gem or that sort of thing. But particularly because we categorized this year, I managed to literally go off the top of my head and feel pretty confident.
Yeah.
I quickly looked through other stuff I'd read this year and quickly looked through other stuff we talked about, but I hadn't gotten to. And I went, no, I don't think there's any amount of reading that I could wind up doing that would change my list.
Yeah.
So I read my normal amount, but I didn't go going nuts to gotta get this done.
Yeah, right.
I think there's one manga that I want to try to get done before we get to our translation category, just in case it winds up cracking in. But I've got 2 more weeks to do that.
Yep. And then the last one on graphic novels is Whiff Wolf, Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing, Dalen Ogden out from Vault. That's a unique name.
I think skipped suffrage songs, swan songs, Tomorrow the Birds, Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yes, I am so sorry.
That's okay.
I
We've
skipped
talked about them before.
suffrage song I said, but we were talking over it. Yeah,
Right.
suffrage song. Caitlin
Caitlin
Cass from
Cassett,
Fantagraphics.
Fantagraphics.
Now
Swan songs
the
is what
reason I
that
skipped
wraps up.
yeah, so I skipped these because I had my colors mixed up on our red and yellow.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I
the
get
red
it.
means we've talked about them in depth already.
Yeah. No. So anyway, Swan Song is coming out. W. Maxwell Prince, Martin Simmons, Casper Wingard, Felipe Andrade, Caitlin Yarsky, Alex Ekman Lawn, and Martin Morazzo.
The Martin Morazzo issue is actually coming up next week.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be good.
It's
like number 6, I think, or something like that.
It's the last one.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks so.
Tomorrow the Birds, Usamu Tezuka from Ablaze,
Yep.
and Winnie the Pooh,
Godfather of comics.
Who, Osamu?
Mm-hmm. Astro Boy.
That's true.
Many
I was like,
other things.
what comic? Yeah, Astro Boy.
Astro Boy, Blackjack, a lot of things.
Cool. The last on the list, Winnie the Pooh, Travis Dandro, drawn and Quarterly's putting it out. Yeah, I'm really excited. What do you think about? I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but it just reminded me that Mickey Mouse is now in the public domain.
It's going to be interesting because only the original Mickey Mouse is in the public domain.
Yeah, that Mortimer Mouse.
You know, they very carefully redesigned from time to time, and anytime they change, you know, they add the gloves, and now if you use the gloves, that's not a public domain, etc. You know, they add buttons to the gloves, they add you know, they very carefully, you know, every 10 years or so made some sort of change. But beyond that, the ears are trademarked.
Okay.
And that's different. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, you know, because there's still room for them to argue that certain things hurt their brand.
Mm-hmm.
The trademark has to do with the brand rather than, so yeah, it's in public domain, but it's going to be interesting to see what exactly that means.
And what would be, yeah.
Right.
Cool. So final
whereas
order.
Winnie the Pooh, I mean, with this, if you look at it, that it's designed after the original Milne.
Yep.
Winnie the Pooh. It's not the Disneyfied Winnie the Pooh.
Yep.
Because the Milne is in public domain and the Disney is not, and has some weird stuff going on with that. So anyway,
cool. So final order cutoff.
We'll talk some graphic novels and collections. Gleam from Freddie Carrasco.
Oh, my bad.
Imbued with cyberpunk attitude and in the rebellious tradition of Afrofuturism, Gleam is drawn with a fierce momentum hurtling towards a future world. Carrasco's distinct cinematic style layers detailed panels and spreads, creating a multiplicity of perspectives, at once dizzying and hypnotic. Vignettes unspool in proximity to our own social realities and expand into the outer layers of possibility. That's due out April 17th. Drawn and Quarterly.
Yeah, they're putting out some good stuff.
Hobtown Mystery Stories, The Case of the Missing Men, from Chris Burton and Alexander Forbes. Says, perfect for fans of Twin Peaks, Blue Velvet, and Hardy Boys mysteries, which are like, I guess Twin Peaks is kind of between Blue Velvet and Hardy Boys, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not all.
Yeah.
Hobtown Mystery Stories takes the teen investigator genre to new levels as they explore small-town identity and the surreal. Welcome to Hobtown, a charmingly bleak village, population 2006, and an easy place to get bored if you don't make your own fun. Hobtown Regional High's top girl, Dana Nance, runs the Teen Detective Club, a registered after-school program that makes it their business to investigate each and every one of the town's bizarre occurrences, including pagan secret societies, psychic assaults, and possible wee man sightings. Their small world of missing pets and shed fires is turned upside down when real-life kid adventurer and globetrotter Sam Finch comes to town and enlists them in their first real case, the search for his missing father. Something strange is going on, and no one in Hobtown will talk about it. Turns out Sam's dad is the sixth man to go missing this year. The rot runs deep in Hobtown, and it's up to the teen detectives and associates to stay alive long enough to crack the case of the missing men. Childhood friends Chris Burton and Alexander Forbes have built a truly unique and discreet universe in Hobtown, an exploration of small town identity, drawing from the world of pulp, filtered through a lens of esoteric spirituality, skewed genre tropes, deft character work, and an incredible eye for detail. Coming out from Oni Press on April 23rd. Just looks cool to me.
Yeah.
It's my type of shit.
Mm-hmm. I could totally tell.
Reminds me a little bit of Brubaker and Marcos Martin's Friday too. You know, taking that old like youth detective story
teen
trope,
detective,
but making it a little bit more modern and a little bit more adult.
Do you remember Encyclopedia Brown?
Yep.
That was one of my favorites as a kid. I love that.
Well, and that's really what Friday is. Friday is a story about Encyclopedia Brown is like a 19-year-old when his partner has gone off to college and she's coming back for the first time.
Yep. Yep.
So, and then last one we'll talk about is the collection of Sirens of the City from Joanne Sterer and Carrie Randolph. Runaway teen Layla struggles to survive on the mean streets of 1980s New York City, far from home. But now every supernatural creature from the darkest corners of the urban grime is after Layla and the fetus with great power she never wanted growing inside of her. Being a siren also comes with its share of power, and Layla shouldn't dare let that go to waste. A mysterious villain known as the Rat King will use any means necessary to find out more about the boundless power Layla carries against her will, but will her power be enough to escape from his clutches and save her friends and the city, even herself? From Joanne Sterer, who's done Fire and Ice, Welcome to Smallville, which I adore, and The Gimmick, which we talked a ton about when it was coming out, and artist Carrie Randolph, who did Excellence. Shine a light on bodily autonomy in a patriarchal world in this gritty urban fantasy. Yeah, I really dug this book when it was coming out.
Yeah.
So those of you who didn't read it,
yes,
monthly,
me
should Tyler check it out when it comes out May 8th.
I will definitely grab it.
So yeah, final order cutoffs.
Now we'll do the final order cutoff. Now
I'm gonna do my rare thing. We're gonna say Beyond Real number 2 is a final order cutoff, and the only reason I'm pointing out that it's number 2 is at final order cutoff is, I mean, it's amazing. It's so amazing. We talked to Zach Kaplan about it not once but twice.
Yep.
But beyond that,
beyond
not intended. The first issue, every retailer that wanted it got, I think, 25 free copies. So a lot of people may have been, just had this copy put in their box or gotten it for free, gotten it discounted, whatever. If you've gotten this book, which is amazing, it plays with a love story and the whole simulation theory, where we're a simulation, only takes multiple levels, simulation inside a simulation inside a simulation, and main characters desperately trying to get to the master coder to save her partner. And each level has art from a different phenomenal artist. 7 different artists for 5 issues. So you're not even talking about different artists each issue. It's like ingrained in the issues. It's just a really impressive project, really ambitious project. I've read the first 3 issues, so I can tell you that like 3 issues in, it's phenomenal. So for those who haven't read it, go see if your store has it. Again, there's a good chance they did, because they could get 25 copies for free. And those who got the free copy, make certain you read it, and you've got about a week to order it if you want to start getting issue 2 and my God, is it good? It's like a front runner for my favorite miniseries of 2024. I mean, I've said it on the record multiple times now. We're gonna see. I'm gonna try very hard. If something beats it out, to allow it to beat it out. I don't know if it or Animal Pound are gonna be number one.
Yeah.
Or for that matter, Man's Best. But those three currently have a lock on my 3 miniseries for 2024. That's the bar this year.
Uh-huh.
It's being thrown down in January. Cemetery Kids Don't Die, number 1 from Zach Thompson, Daniel Irizarry. This looked really cool too. This was the game simulation thing.
Yep.
Zach Kaplan again, Kill All Immortals, number 1. With Pico Asio at Dark Horse, The One Hand from Randy and Lawrence Campbell at Image. Spider-Punk number 1 is Cody Ziegler, Justin Mason at Marvel, and the Times Squared Omnibus, which not only collects the first 2 graphic novels from the 80s, but finally has the long-awaited 3rd volume to finish off the story from Howard Chaykin, will come out from Image on February 7th. Also check out my discussion with Howard Chaykin
right
up on our website now.
Yeah.
Still the only Kickstarters, The Old Dirty Bastard, Oddities, Discards, and B-Sides, Lyrical Ruckus in the City, with lots of cool people, including Ronald Wimberly and Mike Del Mundo. And those are the 2 names that are jumping at me right now. So since I don't feel like reading them all,
sure,
that's where we're leaving them.
Yeah.
But check it out. It looks awesome, both the comic and the action figure. I'm actually getting an Old Dirty Bastard action figure because they modeled it off of the Ronald Wimberly design, and it just was way too cool.
That's awesome.
So Tyler, what'd you love this week?
I loved Love Everlasting, number 11, from Tom King, Elsa Chartier.
So good.
I loved the Western motif,
yep.
Right?
Yep.
It was.
Yep.
It was interesting because at the beginning she was in love with one guy, but that wasn't the true love. That resets her. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I honestly think that this is like the origin story.
Yeah.
She didn't really get reset at all, did she?
No, she just zapped away. She just disappeared.
Right. Yeah.
It was interesting.
So, yeah, this is the 3rd arc, and yeah, I'm digging it.
Yep.
It was 2 on my list, but we'll get into the why soon.
Sure.
Because, man, you skipped a good one. I'm assuming you just skipped it because it's not on your list at all.
Right. I did. It's in my box at Rainbow.
Okay.
The one you're going to talk about. And then I read Fantastic Four, number 15. This made my list. This whole series has just been awesome. I love Ryan North.
Ryan North just rocks.
Yeah, and Ivan Fiorelli, I'm sorry, from Marvel. I am just screwing up left and right tonight. Anyway,
Ryan North just rocks.
We finally get the payoff from the beginning of the series. So we're 15 issues into it. We finally get the payoff of where everyone's been for the last year. So I don't know if you remember you've read a little bit of this series, right?
Yeah, I've read the first arc.
Okay. So in it, there's something that happened between Ben and Reed, and Ben has gone to move off on the farm.
Right.
Well, that thing that happened has come to fruition.
I definitely need to catch up.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So that thing that happened has come to fruition.
Even more reason to catch up.
Yep. Okay.
Gotcha.
And
cool.
And then I've always loved this character. So this is Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099 from Steve Orlando.
I read this when it came out.
And
for the original.
Yeah, I did not. And so the original series I read. But this one is a new series that's starting up from Steve Orlando and Dev Pramanik from Marvel Comics.
Right.
Do you notice that branding that Marvel is doing with the different Spider-Man titles? They're putting
I haven't yet.
Okay, so like they're putting Peter Parker, Amazing Spider-Man, or maybe they're not doing it on the Amazing Spider-Man. but they're doing
I
it
mean, that
with
would make way more sense for
new
um
fans.
well
Miles Morales, Spider-Man.
Peter Parker's uh supposed to be the spectacular Spider-Man.
Yep. Um, but then,
I mean,
so anyway, they're
we're
putting the character's name above the title. Like in this case, it's titled Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man
right.
2099. Anyway, it was a really good story this week. What were your three amazing new books, Tad?
Uh, Pine and Merrimack, #1.
Yep.
Kyle Starks and Fran Gallen. You know, uh, disillusioned homicide detective that went back to her hometown to start up a private investigation
Uh-huh.
service, and her former MMA fighter husband slash partner slash bodyguard, and Kyle Starks. So some hilarity ensues.
So the funny story about this one is I gave my wife a list of comics to grab for me at Rainbow because I couldn't go myself.
Right.
And this one was in my box, but it wasn't on my list, so she told them to leave it. So that's why it's still in my box.
That's fair.
Yep.
That's fair. I get that.
So
I get that.
don't worry, I didn't.
Love Everlasting #11 was my second,
Yeah.
and Once Upon the Time at the End of the World, Jason Aaron, Nick Gata takes over
Uh-huh.
this. Um, this arc. Um, yeah, we'll talk more about this book in a little bit, I think. So I'll just leave it at that.
Sure.
It was really good. I enjoyed the return. Another good week in comics, but we got our end of the year stuff to come into. So let's get into it.
Yeah. These
Wow,
were our
I just looked at your graphic novels, and one of them I know but haven't read.
Uh-huh.
One of them I don't even know.
Okay.
One of them I've read, but I think between the fact that I've read a lot more graphic novels than you have.
Yes, exactly. I've read so few. I've read very few, but we'll get to that. So this is our best of 2023, part 1.
Graphic novels was actually one of my harder categories to manage
What?
to pare down to 3.
Oh, really?
Make good graphic novels.
So we're going to start with our best ongoing series.
Yeah.
Tad, what was your #1 for your best ongoing series?
My top ongoing series is What's the Furthest Place from Here from Matthew Rosenberg and Tyler Boss.
Nice.
I mean, post-apocalyptic world with kids, and just had a major twist as some of them found the adults.
Yep.
Matthew Rosenberg, Tyler Boss. I mean, this entire podcast, to a certain level, could be described as my love affair with Matthew Rosenberg and Tyler Boss. They've been coming up since the beginning.
Yeah.
I want to say issue 1 of What's the Furthest Place from Here was my first book that I hoped would be spectacular.
It could be. We could go back and look. I think you might be right.
But I know it was like issue 4. We broke down 4 kids walk into a bank.
Yep.
We're so happy when we got them both on the show. And yeah, this book just never lets me down. Even if I sometimes have to wait longer than I'd like to get my vinyl to go along with issues.
Mm-hmm.
Because, that wound up not being as easy a thing as they had hoped it would be.
Oh, really?
Then Star Trek Defiant. Christopher Cantwell, Angel Unzueta. I wasn't a Star Trek fan. I am a Chris Cantwell fan, both personally and professionally. But man, have I become a Star Trek fan, and like this book is a reason why He's just been killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it.
I've been wanting to
Ah,
get into this. I started watching Star Trek series. I started to start with the old one,
right.
and just ease my way into it. And I kind of got sidetracked from finishing it.
I get it. I get it. And I told you we were going to talk about Once Upon a Time at the End of the World again,
Yeah.
and now we are.
Yeah.
Because it's my third best ongoing series of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Jason Aaron has taken us on another post-apocalyptic love story journey. So in that sense, what's furthest place from here and Once Upon a Time at the End of the World have things in common. Um, but in this one, Niseo and Mezzi kind of find each other, and Niseo was able to grow up in a safer environment, um, at least while his parents were still alive,
Mm-hmm.
um, where he was able to learn science and learn how to build stuff and whatnot. And Mezzi was built up or grew up with a group of they call them Rangers, and they're like the fighters of the wasteland.
Yeah.
Um, so she's the total and utter badass, but has decided that she doesn't, kind of left them, and they found each other, and they got away from the Rangers, and that was like the first arc, and then the second arc is they actually found like haven where he was able to put together an engine to kind of create a safe environment, um, where they and eventually other people could live, and they discover sex, and they discover they're just obscenely happy until things start to fall. Is beginning for a while, and they're older now, and kind of seems like they're trying to reconnect, but it's not entirely clear how. Um, but yeah, it's just been a great series. As I realized that 11 might be the last arc, I don't know if it's completely fair to call it the ongoing series, because it
Right.
looks like it might wind up being 15. Um, but when I wrote this down, I didn't know that the end was clearly in sight, and it was certainly ongoing all through this year. So I left it in the ongoing series. So
I hear you.
how about you, Tyler? Two
Well,
of these are, well, actually, really, all three of these are ones that,
I've been
if I'd
taught.
bothered to do honorable mentions,
Yeah.
would have
These
been
these
in
these
the
are
honorable
ones that
mentions.
I kind of took this to go back and look at my lists from the year and what books did I talk about a lot. And
Oh, yeah,
I
I
think
get it.
every episode that A Love Everlasting came up, it was on the list. And same with Saga. We never missed a week where we didn't talk about it when it came out. And I have
Right.
been becoming a fanboy of Ryan North. Now, I put Love Everlasting, Tom King, and Elsa Chartier as number one. This book has just kept me captivated. Love it for a month to month or whenever it comes. I know it's not coming out monthly, but when it comes out, I'm just totally enthralled with it. Saga was my number two. Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples from Image. This book took me a little while to get into. I remember last year, I was like a casual fan.
Yep.
But
I made you read it all together.
Yep. Yep. And then reading it as one story arc and then continuing on as the new issues came out really helped.
Yeah. I mean, it's so good.
Yeah. And then I was kind of at the beginning of the series. This is Fantastic Four is my third pick. Ryan North and Ivan Fiorelli. I've been I wasn't really paying attention to it right when it came out. I bought it because I was buying so much Marvel stuff. So I remember buying it and then just kind of putting it aside and not really giving it its due credit. It wasn't until after we read some Squirrel Girl issues for one of our episodes that I really started going back and going, wait a minute, this guy is funny. He's witty. There's a certain charm to his writing, certain childlike quality. You know what I mean? I'm trying to. he made the Fantastic Four fun again. You know what I mean? And yeah, so those were my picks for best ongoing series.
I mean, arguably make Fantastic Four. I don't know if I've ever read Fantastic Four that I thought was as much fun as Ryan Reynolds' fun.
That's right.
Fantastic Four. I think they always felt like they should be fun,
Yep.
and I'm certain that there must be eras that I just haven't read where they're more fun because there are people who talk about them being fun.
Exactly. I've never been a
But
Fantastic Four fan, and so this is weird
Right.
for me to like be into the like when
Right.
I got the new issue the other day.
I've even been I'm a fan of Burns' run on Fantastic Four. I'm a fan of Grant Morrison's run on Fantastic Four, but I didn't think of either of those runs as fun.
Uh-uh. No, and this
You know
is
what I
fun,
mean?
and this is fun.
So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, and it feels like they should be fun, particularly once they had kids. Their kids should be fun. The thing should be fun. Johnny Storm should be fun. Reed's allowed not to be fun, and but Sue's supposed to be reminding him that being fun is allowed even when you're an uber genius.
yeah.
Um,
What I love
yeah.
is Johnny's mustache. He's sporting a very cool handlebar mustache in this series. All right, so our second category in best of 2023, or our favorites of 2023, is best limited series. So, Tad, what do you got?
Yeah, see, you've got a great list too. All of them would have been definitely runner up for
Holy
me.
cow, I just noticed mine all start with the same letter.
But yeah, that is kind of funny. This is another one where I think my picks were locked in last January or close to it.
Yep.
And everything all year has been living up to these and not quite. Know Your Station. Like I read issue 1 and I said this is going to be my book of the year, and it still is.
Yeah,
So
I remember
Know
you
Your
saying
Station,
that.
Sarah Gailey, Liana Kangas. Just Know Your Station is so good that I nearly put Gailey and Kangas as best writers and artists, even though that was really all either one of them did this year in terms of comics. And I tried to have it be people who had done more work, but they were close.
Oh, so for your best writers of the year, you went who was most prolific? Or
I didn't strictly go who was most prolific, but that was kind of my tiebreaker.
Okay. That makes sense.
I mean, Gailey nearly took the third spot over the person who had the third spot, and would have, except that the person who had the third spot did like 3 times as much work.
Uh-huh.
And pretty much the same deal with Kangas and the artist spot. They were in serious running for the third spot.
Uh-huh.
But the person who did the third spot had 3 times as much work.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see you doing that. I did similar. If I read a lot of their books, kind of told me like, oh, they must be higher. They should be higher up on my list,
Right.
Anyway, we'll get to those next week.
Again, it was more of a deal breaker thing than, or not a deal breaker, more of a tiebreaker thing than I mean, again, if we were ranking best ongoing, best limited series, and best graphic novel all in one category, Know Your Station would still be at the top for me.
Would it? That's awesome.
Yeah. Like hands down, it would still be at the top for me. For that matter, Immortal Sergeant would still be number 2 for me. And I feel so blessed that we got to talk to both of these creative teams, like right after their first issues came out. And I'm hoping that we can still we've talked to Gailey and Kangas again since they finished, and I'm hoping we can do that with Joe Kelly and Ken Nimura as well. Just these are just perfect stories. Gailey's is Gailey and Kangas told like closed room mystery on a space station for rich people, with AI and class struggles and beautiful art, and it's an allegory for so many important things that we're dealing with in the world without being overwhelming about any of them. It's something that is absolutely, and really all three of the books on my list here fit this. Enfield Gang Massacre from Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips being the third. Um, there's so many parallels that can be drawn, which doesn't mean that you can't just enjoy them for the story on the surface.
Uh-huh.
Immortal Sergeant is like the main characters are a retiring detective trying to finally solve that case that has gnawed at him for years before he finally hangs it up. His son, who's semi-estranged and in town only for his retirement party, gets sucked into a cross-country road trip to solve this case, where you also like have their entire relationship and all of its broken majesty laid bare.
Uh-huh.
Enfield Gang Massacre proves that you can do a Western comic again.
Yeah. I was just going to say
mean,
that. A Western.
I almost wonder if Enfield Gang Massacre is what made it so, Azzarello and Rizzo were willing to run with their Western.
Yep.
For years, the one genre that people have said are dead are Western comics. And the closest you came to a Western comic that was ever a hit was Pulp, and that wasn't even really a Western comic.
Did you like American Vampire? It was.
I haven't actually read it.
Western-esque,
Okay.
Yeah,
and there's been Jonah Hex stuff through
Jonah
the
Hex.
years.
That's the other one I was thinking.
There's been Westerns have never gone away.
Uh-huh.
But it's been a long time since one was like decent selling and unequivocally liked by critics.
Right. Well, that's why I really loved Love Everlasting this week, because it had that Western feel to it, and it's like there's something that is very American.
Well, the West is our mythology.
Exactly.
Now, because we're so young of a nation, we have to be really careful about mistaking mythology for history.
Correct.
And that's where it can go in and out of vogue, because you get uncomfortable if there's not the mythological aspect. But you can be equally uncomfortable if you go too far into some of the various Western tropes that we've had through the years that minimize Native Americans or women in the West or colored people you know what I mean?
Yep.
So managing to balance both is actually really important. But the West is American mythology.
Mm-hmm.
The Norse have their gods, and the Greeks have their gods, and the Italians have their gods, and the British have Arthur and Robin Hood, and I'm certain I could come up with French and German. Well, Germans have tons of fairy tales. The mythology of, for that matter, Native Americans have their mythology.
Uh-huh.
As cultures go, the United States culture is relatively new. We're only a few hundred years old. So our mythology is still something that we can also know the history and reality of, and that makes it an interesting thing to balance.
Uh-huh.
But the West is where our legends were made.
Right. I think that's why it's so
a matter of telling them in a way that doesn't feel patriarchal or imperialistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can totally see that. All right, so my 3 limited series. First up, we're going back a little back in American history,
so good,
to the 1920s. Barnstormers from Scott Snyder and
favorite
Tula
Scott Snyder book.
Is it?
Yeah,
mine is mine's American Vampires, but
which I need to read.
Yeah,
but of the ones I've read right now,
Uh huh.
Barnstormers is my favorite Scott Snyder book, and it's not even close.
Yeah, and Scott Snyder was one of my high up there Batman writers too. Um,
Right.
but yeah, Barnstormers was super good. And then Breath of Shadows, Rich Douek and Alex Cormac's book. This was really cool. I really enjoyed every issue of it. I don't think there was a dud.
No, no. And in fact, it'll come up next week
Okay.
because one of them, and I'm certain you can guess, makes it on to my Creators of the Year list.
I can guess. And then Blue Book from James Tiny in the fourth and Michael Avon Oming,
which will
from
also
Dark
come up
Horse.
for me next week.
Yeah.
This
Yep. I can imagine that both of, if not all of these creators come up for you.
you know, only a couple of the artists,
Okay. Because see,
but
and-
they were part of the reason that it was hard to fit in people like Leanna Kangas.
True. But Blue Book is really great because it's this it's this nonfiction book that feels like fiction because it's
It's
bizarre.
fantastic.
It's bizarre.
Fantastic.
And I love.
But we're in the Platinum Age of comics, so we
Yeah.
only got to choose 3, Tyler.
Yep, I know. It was just a bizarre book, and I loved it, and I can't wait for. I know they're
I'm
doing.
looking forward to the next volume.
Yep, they're doing
Which
more
is
of it.
almost weird for me to say because I don't want to say I wasn't expecting to like this because that's not quite true.
Okay.
But if you had given me the description without the creators,
Yep.
I wouldn't have expected to like it.
Oh, really?
I don't get into most conspiracy theory stuff. And Aliens is probably my least favorite in that.
Okay.
It's just boring. I mean, if I'm going to do Aliens, give me some real hard sci-fi, not
the standard trope.
tropes and
Yep. I get it.
tell me a story about them coming and doing something interesting rather than
The standard, like you said, probing and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So last category for today: best original graphic novels. What do you got?
This was a tough category.
It wasn't as tough for me because I read so few.
This was a tough category for me.
Sure.
Really, I mean, no. Let me rephrase. As with most of my categories, number 3 was tough.
Yeah. Okay.
1 and 2 really, really like immediately spoke to me. Parasocial from Alex DeCampi and Erica Henderson. Oh my God, is that book amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, they're 2 of my favorite creators in comics to begin with. Second time they've worked together, and Dracula Motherfuckers was also amazing in completely different ways. But Parasocial was a think piece thriller, relatable in altogether too many ways, not just as a fanboy, but like it dealt with elder care, and it dealt with obsessive personalities, and it dealt with all sorts of things that are just really familiar to my life and the comics community, and it did them around a just disturbing thriller tale with a twist at the end where you discover you may or may not be able to trust anything that you've read.
True. Okay.
Which is similar to Arca from Van Jensen and Jesse Lonergan. I mean, Jesse Lonergan's killing it with everything he does.
Yep.
And he's the only person in comics I know that works like. I don't think he's done a superhero book yet.
I don't think so, but we're gonna hear him next week, aren't we? I think I'm gonna guess.
Yeah,
he's on
he's
your
gonna
list.
come up again next week.
Yeah.
But I mean, he self-publishes.
Yep.
He works with really small presses. He does art for other people in both issue form and graphic novel form.
Yeah.
He puts stuff out through his own Patreon before he's managed to find publishers for it. He tells all sorts of stories, and he has such a unique and brilliant storytelling style. Which he definitely brings to bear on Arca, which is another. I mean, it was a popular thing this year. Rich people fleeing Earth to survive the apocalypse, with a truly ridiculously phenomenal twist at the end that I can't even talk about, because I didn't talk about the twist at the end of Know Your Station either, which was also brilliant. But with Arca, it was like I had to go back and reread the book after the twist at the end
and get
to look at it through a whole different set of eyes.
Right.
And I might go reread it again because it's so good.
I'm gonna have to read it for the first time.
And then in the third spot, and like I said, the third spot was so hard. So many books could have fallen into this third spot, but I really, really loved Stephanie Phillips and Julia Lally, I think, at Humanoids, did a book called 8 Limbs. It's essentially a former Krav Maga champion takes in a foster child that's had like a troubled past and anger issues and somebody who she's connected to is the social worker and thinks that maybe she'll be able to make a difference. And I think it even starts as, look, can you just keep her for a few nights? But they wind up bonding. She winds up teaching her. The girl eventually winds up going and doing, underground fighting for a while. And then coming back, and it's just a really great story about trust and discipline and found family and all the things that make life worth living, but can be really hard.
Right.
And Stephanie Phillips Stephanie is one of the great writers working right now.
Yes, she is.
Just an amazing, amazing writer. So yeah, I felt like she needed to pop up somewhere in best books, and the 8 Limbs seemed like the one to put there. So how about you? I've read The Moth Keeper.
Yeah, I'm really interested.
No, honestly, I read it because I thought it was Kevin O'Neill.
Oh, did you?
And then I was halfway through it. I'm like, this doesn't feel like Kevin O'Neill. And then I looked, and I'm like, oh, K. O'Neill.
I read
as
it
in K, not K. Period O'Neill.
Yeah, one of my students, one of my art students, said, "You got to read. You like graphic novels. You like fantasy.
Right.
You got to read this book." And it really touched my heart.
Oh no, it's fantastic.
Yeah. And what it is the lunar moths. I couldn't think of what it was about, but the lunar moths, right? They take care of the flower, and the flower needs to keep thriving. And this character named Anya is excited to prove her worth and show how awesome she is. And yeah, it's just, I loved it. My favorite part though is the artwork. I mean, as an art guy, this is why my student showed it to me. It's got a Legend of Zelda kind of feel to it, and I love that game. So it hit me in all the right places, The next book, I really should have put it. The more I think about this next book should have been my number 1. I don't know why I put it as 2, but Marry Me a Little, a graphic memoir. Have you read this one?
I have not. I might have heard of it, but I didn't know it.
Okay.
I'm reading about it right now, and it looks really cool.
Yeah. And so what it is this guy got married after it was legalized in Minnesota in 2013. And then, what happens after the law was changed because of the decisions of, what court case was it? Obergefell or
Obergefell?
Yeah, and Hodges. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's got a really cool whimsical drawing style that reminds me of like that Quentin Blake. He used to illustrate Roald Dahl books.
Okay.
Um, he's got like a very sketchy, like simplistic. It's not simple, but it's got a
Right. Right.
simplistic
Right.
feel to it. Um, it just
Well, I mean, lines rather than, I mean, I'm just looking at it here,
yeah,
and it, it's got strong line work
yep,
rather than intense shading or whatever. It's not that it's without depth, but the depth is done by strong line work
hmm
rather than color and shading.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah. It was this whole thing. It touched my heart. I know I keep saying that about all my books here, but it was it was just an honest look at what it's like to think about the institute of marriage, especially for a gay couple.
Well,
Um,
and because I'm reading the description here, it sounds like that they also, probably in part because they weren't allowed to get married and had been together for a long time,
yep,
were kind of ambivalent towards
yeah,
getting married. Now
yeah.
they were suddenly allowed to, so they were
It's
expected
like
to,
so.
but
Like,
it's
do we
like,
get married? Do we? Is this something we
but
have to do?
does it actually change their relationship? They've been together for a decade.
Exactly,
Um,
and it asks those questions, and you know, my wife and I had the same feeling, and as a heterosexual couple, is going,
yeah,
do we need to get married? I mean, to
right,
define what we are. I mean,
right.
ultimately we did it because we wanted to have a baby, and we felt like a marriage was going to be the best option
Well, I mean, there are
for.
legal reasons to get married, which is why, I mean, it's the biggest reason that it was disgusting that it was barred from, and why the whole argument, oh, if you can marry your a man, what's to stop you from marrying a dog? Well, there's no point in marrying a dog. Your dog's still not going to have survivor rights.
Exactly.
The ability to get married, and so when they started to do the civil, they've got civil unions. You don't have to give them marriage. It's like, okay, but then the government just doesn't sanction marriage. Period. Marriage is between you and your church, and you and your government is civil unions. I'm completely cool with that.
Yeah.
Completely cool with that.
Yep.
What I'm not cool with is some people get this thing and some people don't.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. And this book was great. Um, and my third pick, I had trouble with this one, whether it was an actual graphic novel because it's based off of a webtoon.
That's I'll take it.
Yeah, and so Twistwood Tales is a webtoon that
I
I.
mean, we're not doing a collection, so I mean, I guess you could have decided to do an ongoing series with it, but
Yep.
if it's not going, yeah, it's a toss up.
Yeah. Have you?
Next year we might have to do webtoon category.
Yeah. Have you read Twistwood Tales
I
before?
have not.
Again, lighthearted, fun fantasy characters. Um, you can find them on webtoons. And anyway, they put out a graphic novel, Twistwood Tales, and you get to. Bucket Boy is the main character, and you get to journey to learn that he has worth as a friend, kind of thing. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Whether or not he's useful or not. Um, and it's just wholesome and it's funny. I had it, and I know there are
I
better
just
graphic.
added it to my subscription list on Webtoon.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's a wholesome, cute
It looks cool.
read. Yeah.
Looks cool. I've been trying one of my resolutions for the year is to read more Webtoon.
Huh.
Um, there's a lot of good stuff there. I'm not even all the way through Lore Olympus.
Uh huh.
What I've read of it, I love, but I just still getting used to the format.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably, it is best read on your phone. Certainly your tablet, if not your phone, because it's the vertical scroll, you don't necessarily want an overly big size page, and you do want, they're designed to be vertical rather than horizontal. So, uh, but it's just it takes getting used to because it's kind of like it takes a while to get used to reading manga.
Right.
just because of the different way you have to process it. Um, and I really want to do a better job of doing that, and I'm still working.
Yeah.
But it's definitely one of my goals for this year is to read a lot more web comics,
I want to
and particularly vertical scroll
I
comics.
want to keep up with the ones that I'm already reading. You know what I mean? I'm
Well,
really
that too.
bad. uh,
I no, I am too.
yeah, I'm really bad
Um,
about that. But now that I'm building my own PC, I'm planning on spending a lot more time with that kind of stuff.
right.
Just so I get some use out of my computer that I'm spending
Yeah. Yeah.
so much money on. Uh, so those were our
Anything we want to say about ongoing limited or graphic novels? Anything that we love that didn't? I don't know if there's anything that I really want to hit that we didn't
No, I don't
talk
think
about
so.
already. I
No,
mean, you talked about Fantastic Four, but other than that, we didn't really hit any superheroes at all in
no.
our ongoing. So, I mean, I will toss out that Miles Morales has been great this year.
Yes.
The Star Wars books have been great this year. Both Batman and Detective have been great this year. Daredevil's been great this year.
So what was
Um,
monumental about the new Batman issue? The one that the with the two suited Batman? I didn't read it, but I know there.
I don't know if I've read the new one yet.
Okay.
But we're coming up on Joker Year One.
Okay. Are they going to release an actual in canon background for the Joker, or do we have that already?
It, I mean, we kind of have it in. Um, we kind of have it in
The
uh,
Killing Joke?
Killing Joke.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see what Zdarsky does with that.
Uh huh.
Um, but yeah, overall, not really.
Okay.
So it'll be, and for that matter, there's always been a strong argument that we shouldn't. I've
Right.
even generally fallen into the camp of we shouldn't.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I have a lot of faith in Chip Zdarsky. So I'm interested to see what he does.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I'm very interested to see what happens with that one.
Yeah.
Uh,
So what are we looking forward to this upcoming week?
it's funny because we've got a couple, and I didn't even notice this, but we have a couple of the same ones, and I
We do.
noticed it as I was writing
Actually,
it.
we have all three.
I
Only I've
I don't
I've
have your
actually
number.
already read Deep Cuts because it came out digitally already.
Okay,
I have all three of your books.
because yeah, I picked my number one, which is also your number
Number
one.
two,
No, I have my number three is your number one.
right?
Go ahead with your number one.
Acid Chimp versus Business Dog.
Yes.
Mark Russell, Bryce Ingman, Peter Krause, and Steve Pugh.
What a
Oh
team.
my God, this looks amazing. And I talked to Bryce about it, and he talked about how they worked really hard to have the animals act like animals,
Yeah.
to not overly humanize them. And I'm so excited
See, I
to see
liked it
how it
when they
turns
humanize
out.
them, right? When we talk about Mark Russell and Steve Pugh, especially with on the Flintstones, um,
Right. No,
they
I'm
humanized. I
down with
love
that.
that.
I'm down with that, but in their respective books, both Acid Chimp and Business Dog were just chimps and dogs.
Yep. Yep.
So to take them and have them, oh, this is the story from their point of view, only they're more human. No, I love that they challenged themselves to keep them the characters that they are.
Yeah, that's cool. Can't wait to read
Um,
it.
and again, it's Mark Russell, Bryce Ingman, Peter Krause, and Steve Pugh.
Yep.
I mean,
What a team.
they could like rewrite and illustrate the obituaries, and I'd read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, yeah, it's gonna be a blast. As will Swan Songs number 6, W.
Yep.
Maxwell Prince, Martin Morazzo. I love this cover. It's like the poetry of the end is the sub thing, and
Yep.
and the cover is very much where the sidewalk
Yep.
at. So I'm really looking forward to this. Or from Kyle Higgins, Joe Clark, and Ramon Perez, dropped on Comixology. Fucking amazing.
Yep.
One of my favorite things about doing this podcast is I can sometimes immediately email people how much I love their work in real time. I thought he had outdone himself.
Yeah.
So, and he was appreciative of that email, which makes me feel good too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He cuts number 4. Kyle against Joe Clark, Ramon Perez. I think you're going to talk about it again in a second. But really quick, I'll point out that we've got some really fantastic collections coming out. We've got Barnstormers.
Yep.
We may have talked about Barnstormers recently. Barnstormers is coming out as a collected edition this week. Dead Box from Mark Russell, Becky Yoder, Kowalski at Vault. I feel like they didn't actually manage to get all the issues of this out.
They didn't.
That for the last issues of this we're seeing them. I'm going to have to look more specifically. I know that it had some production issues.
Okay.
So it's really nice to see this book end. Essentially, it's like they rent videos that wind up telling them their future. It's cool. I don't know how to describe it, but it's Mark Russell.
Yeah.
Do I need to say anything more than that? It's Mark. Then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Usagi Yojimbo Where When from Stan Sakai.
Yep. That was really
and then
good.
I had somehow this one flew under my radar, but this looks amazing. Underground, the illustrated Bible of cursed rockers and high priestesses of sound. Arnaud Lagoufflet and looking awesome.
Yeah. It looks really good. There's a Pantera one coming out.
Comes back next week. Some more Daredevil, get more.
There's a Pantera graphic novel coming out next month too.
That's all you, man.
That's all me.
I was never into Pantera.
You weren't? Oh, I loved them.
I was never into Pantera.
Oh, as a high school kid, into metal like I was, that was my favorite bands.
I was never into metal.
Anyway,
as metal as I get is Metallica.
Yeah. I love Metallica. They're awesome. But anyway,
it's a band that I can listen to.
That's how my mom was like that. She'd be like, "Turn this off." Anyway, my books I am hoping will be
you and your devil music.
Yeah. We already talked about Swan Songs number 6 from W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo. I just love this series. I think as I was thinking about it,
great.
It'd be fun to have an anthology series, but there aren't too many of them out.
I'm actually kind of surprised that this didn't make either of our limited series of the year.
It was a consideration of mine.
It was for me too.
Yeah. But my second pick is Deep Cuts number 4, Kyle Higgins, Joe Clark. Is it Joe Clark? Joe Clark, did I write that wrong? Ramon Perez.
Joe Clark.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
Absolutely spectacular.
Okay. I'm sure it is.
You won't regret it.
And as Tad said,
definitely worth the pickup.
This book is going to be awesome. Acid Chimp versus Business Dog from Mark Russell, Bryce Ingman, Peter Krause, and Steve Pugh. It's going to be awesome.
How can it go wrong?
How can it go wrong? It can't. It's going to be good.
So, all right.
Wow.
I think we went a little long, but we had a lot to talk about.
We did have a lot to talk about. That was a good episode. Can't wait to see what are our categories next week. I'm going to pull up.
But I think we still wrapped up in less than 90. So, yeah.
All right. So next week, it looks like...
Why don't you take us out, and then we'll chat before we...
Sure. Let me just... For next week, we're going to be talking about our favorite...
Next week, it'll be writer, artist, and cartoonist.
Yep. All right. So stay tuned for that. And we'll catch you guys after the next page. See ya. Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22panelspodcast.